Cool beans, cool beans. Okay. Oh, hey, Rhett. Rhett, how you doing, Rhett? Hey, nice to see you. You gonna stay for the whole thing, or you gonna bail out early again?
I did.
Calling you out in front of everybody.
Is that Red out there?
That's Rhett.
Hey, Red, how you
What's
doing,
up,
bud?
man?
See, Chiefs even haven't heard it from you in a while.
Every time I come on, Red's never here, so we're
Right? Tell
finally
him.
caught up then.
Tell him, Chiefs. Tell him.
I tend to go MIA for a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get onto that options. But just an update here, guys. Just crushing it so far this month with tell you Vision Algo. It's just nuts. Up 16K today this month so far, up 48K. So keep
Woo!
it up, guys.
Are we going for the third record in a row?
Well, I should probably do 100K by the end of the month. So
Yeah, you still got a while. You still got a while. It's only the 10th.
yeah, well, hey, slow and easy, bud. Slow and easy.
That's right.
Hey, jeez. Come for the record, but
No, that's how he does, man. It's
yeah, that's awesome.
the first month he messaged me and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, we did a record month. We're up like 40K this month." Pretty sure I spit out my coffee. I'm like, "What?"
I think that was only 32K that one, but
Well, give or take a few grand.
no, I tell you, this right here is this is the Bible and the gospel for making money. So anybody out there that wants to make money, just listen to Dylan, listen to Rhett, just follow the system and stick true to it. This is
Don't
just
listen to
this is amazing, bud.
It's okay, CJ. He doesn't know you yet. He doesn't know you
It's
yet.
fine.
Chiefs is like the Canadian version of Farouk.
Oh,
When Farouk
I love this guy
When
already.
Farouk comes in here the first time, he's like, "Oh my gosh, this can't be real. This can't be real."
I don't come aboard until my laptop breaks down. So that's why I'm at.
Making too much money to go back.
Farouk, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
Good, man.
no,
I'm doing,
hey,
I'm
Joe.
doing homework. That's what
Of course. Gotta make that homework. Somebody just said my name, right? I think I just heard somebody.
Yeah. That I was just thinking this is like the tune that reminds me of your strategy. I've tried to adopt some of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes. What would Dylan do? He would fucking take that money.
Yep.
So
Sure thing.
and and yeah, I've been trying to put that in my skills, and it's been paying. It's been paying.
It is very profitable, but like today, sometimes you kind of like, damn, if I would have. But you
Yeah,
can't be
but
mad
guess
at
what?
just taking it. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it adds up quick.
Well, after I was talking to you before, I thought, well, fuck, Dylan's drinking coffee. That's the problem. He has trouble sleeping. He keeps his mind's going a mile a minute.
Oh
We're
man.
all hopped up on coffee.
No, sometimes I don't even drink coffee other than one time in the morning, man. I just can't sleep thinking about too much stuff. Let me try to clean up some of this chart here, and we'll show you guys some stuff. All right, all right. So, anybody have any short questions for me before we kind of get into some stuff? That is a sound? No. Oh, dude. I mean, it's just a dream. I'm actually very happy today. You know why? Because for getting older, I'm not old. I'm only 30, but I'm paying full coverage on two trucks. One of them is financed, obviously. That's the new one I just got, and I'm paying less than $275 a month for two full coverage, with roadside assistance on both. I know. That's like I didn't get my license back till I was like 24 or 25. Thanks a lot, R1. Yeah, Yamaha R1. When you're 18, bad beat. uh, But yeah, like I'm used to paying that for one vehicle, liability only, and they're lucky if I get that. So it's pretty nice. Oh, and then that truck, uh, negatory, my friend. Gonna put a new motor in her. The shop, I called the shop because I'm trying to find time to do it myself, but I can't. I called the shop, say, hey, how much do you replace this motor for? $10,700. I'm like, yeah, that's more than I paid for the truck, guy. See ya. Anyway, I'll do it myself. No big deal. We'll find time eventually. But yeah, I do like that truck, CJ. It's got automatic brights. Like if it doesn't sense a car coming at you and stuff, like the brights automatically come on and turn. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But
Hey Dylan, real quick.
what's up?
What is the indicator that's giving the dotted support and resistance?
That's the Dylan indicator. No, you get these horizontal lines, and then you see that little pop up that pops up right here that I'm dragging around.
Oh, so those are your personal ones.
Yeah, you can change the color on them. You can change even the transparency on them, and then you can go right here, change the thickness.
Dotted.
Yeah, change the thickness, and then the style you can change it solid, dotted, or like a fat dash.
Oh, yeah, I thought those were indicators. My bad.
No sir, no sir, no problem though.
Hey, they do have an indicator though on TradingView for support and resistance. I use it. It's called swing.
Yeah, they have a lot of them, but I gotta be honest, they're kind of just garbage.
Yeah, follow
They're
this one
kind
here.
of all over the
Um,
place, but
they're all, I mean, they're just grabbing highs and lows, and they don't chart all the way across the chart. So you're kind of like, well, which ones do I yeah, which ones do I kind of need to stick together? And uh, I'm working on something with Josh that I brought up, and I'm sure he can code it. I come up with a lot of stuff for him to do. I keep him busy all the damn time. um, but like, if he can code it, the only problem he came up with is Vision will say, oh, well, it's a repaint indicator, which people are like, oh no, Vision's repainting. But so what I was gonna tell him was, let's use this and this and this to grab the high points and the low points from the daily chart or the weekly chart. Bring him over to the daily chart, grab the ones from the daily chart, come over to like the 30 minute, grab the 30 minute, come over to the 5 minute, and grab the 5 minute main ones, and have them all different colored, and the color matched ones for each time frame, and they'd all display the main support and resistances on like the 5 minute. So it would automatically do it for you, depending on how far you wanted to go back. But it would tell you it's repainting because it's coming back from 4 different time frames or whatever. So if we can get everybody to understand, hey, that's why it's saying that, we might do it in the future. But until then, we might make it a free one too, just so you guys can go search it, find it, and grab it if you guys want it. But yeah, we got a lot of like this. That's why I stay up all night, because I'm like, what about this? I'm like, hey Josh, can you
I
take?
got a script I'd love you guys to write, but we'll talk about this another time.
Come on with it, Cheeps. Come on with it.
Hey man, once we get this, if we do it and we can get it working, it crushes, man. It really does.
Hell yeah. Well, whenever you want to send it my way, or maybe me, you, and Josh can get in a group message together, and we'll get her taken care of. All right. So if nobody else has any questions, we're gonna basically what I want to show everybody is, and like I'm gonna try to go live like every night in here, for the subscriber only, because I'm trying to help you guys use Vision like you should be. Not just going in here, oh, there's a buy signal, fucking buy it. No, there's a sell signal, buy it or sell it. That's no. That's not what you want to do. So this is the Tesla chart. If you guys didn't see it when I posted in the watch list, this is, pretty basic. I mean, for me, I'm sure Rhett understands exactly what this is. CJ, like a lot of people, that if you're trading, you should have an idea of why these lines are here, what they're meant for, and why I was able to call exactly what it did. So does anybody have questions so far on these lines that you'd like me to go over? Perfect. So what I did, obviously, I already had my pink lines. You see here, they're support and resistance lines. What I want you to notice is the price that they're at. I didn't choose the price they're at. That's just where the support and resistances happen to seem like they were falling. So what that means to me is there's a reason, like it's a pattern. It's just a straight up pattern. So I started looking at where this stuff is falling. Right here, you see this line at the bottom here. This is at 840, whole number. It's a whole number. So a lot of people say that's a psychological number, and they're 100% right. 850, that's a big psychological number. Like you got 840, but then you got 850, which 850 is half of 100, so it's automatically going to be a stronger psychological number than the 840. It's kind of like when me and CJ are trying to choose which calls or puts we're going to buy at what strike price. Those are the numbers we go for. We go for 825, 850, 875, 900. If you go and you try, oh, well, I'm going to go for 863, like nobody else is buying that, so it's going to be hard to get some demand in there to really shove your price through the roof. That's what you want. When you buy a contract on something, you don't only want it to go in the direction of your favor. I mean, you're going to make money, yes. The premium is going to go up. The cost of the contract is going to go up. You're going to be able to cover it with some profit. But the more people that are wanting to buy the contract you have, it's basically just adding, I like to kind of call it interest on top of the cost of your contract. Because if you have 20 people wanting to buy the 856 right there, but you have, 20,000 trying to buy the 850, the 850, yeah, it's going to be crazy. The cost of it's going to be, I mean, so here's a better example. You could have 856 as a strike, and then you could have 875 as a strike, and it could be at $800 right now, and 875 could be worth a ass ton more because of just the demand of it purely. And you might say, well, why are people going to 875 instead of 856? Because it's a rounded number. Like I tell people all the time, like, would you rather have quarters or pennies or whole dollars in your pocket? You'd rather have the quarters and the dollars, not the pennies. The stuff in between the psychological whole numbers, they're pennies. So anyway, long drawn out story of why these numbers matter is I started noticing when I was charting this the other day, like these are all like they all end in zeros basically. They're all a whole number. You got 840, 850, 856, 860, 864, 870, 875, and 878. All of them at a whole dollar amount. So when I see 850, I'm like, well, that's going to be a really, really strong one because it's 850. When you see 875 up here, it's going to be a super, super strong one. And you can see exactly where it started to get resisted at, which was at 875. It kind of poked up and touched 878 there, but it started to get resisted at 875. Those are massive, massive control areas. So that's just how I got the horizontal lines, which are the ones moving from left to right, the pink lines. I'll show you guys how to draw those. Pretty easy, pretty fast once you do it a couple times. Now this right here, these two white lines that go through here, that is the trend. So if you haven't been here a while, you might not have heard me say it, but you want to swim with the current, not against it. So if you're sitting here and you see, here on the 9th or the 8th or whatever, this trend is moving downward, and you're sitting here trying to go long on this thing. Now, if you're scalping it, perfectly fine, no big deal, because that means you're going to be out, in and out very quickly, like I was today. Should have held on, but whatever. But you're going to be in and out very quickly. But if you're actually trying to maybe hold these for all day or longer, you're basically, there's a bunch of fish swimming one way and you're trying to swim up the other way. Not going to happen. You're putting out too much of your own energy just to try to make a profit. You're just going to kill yourself. Now there's something that is called like intraday trend, and then there's something that's like an overall trend. And Cheaps, the last time he was in here, he was helping me tell everybody about it. So we see a downtrend right here on the 8th to 9th, but we also need to look back at the daily and see is there an actual, what's the trend there. So it could be moving up on the daily or on the 4 hour, depending on what you like to look at. Sometimes you can even look at the weekly if there's enough data. But I,
Dylan,
what's up?
real quick, I don't think everybody can see the screen.
Uh oh.
Is there any way we can get someone else to share?
Possibly. No, CJ doesn't say you are actually. It did. It did say you were.
Oh, yeah.
My bad,
I
guys.
share mine. I just don't know if I'm going to mess anything up.
I mean, as many people as possible can share it. Yeah, that's. Oh shit, we didn't, we grew a few, didn't we? Yeah, as many people that want to share it, go ahead. CJ says you got to mute one of the streams or something. Mute everybody's stream but mine, right, CJ? So it like doesn't echo because you're.
Yeah, you can just mute all the stream. Like, whatever stream you're in, just mute it.
I got you. Because you're still getting the voice from mine. Gotcha.
How do you mute your stream?
Bottom right, you see the little volume button when you're watching the stream.
All right, got it.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good. In the morning, they like to tear CJ up. Echo. Yeah, if anybody can't see, let us know. All right. I think we're good now, right? Okay, so let's see, where was I at? The overall trend versus intraday trend. So I'm on a 5 minute, pretty much where I stay, unless me and CJ or somebody else like, hey, we need to look at this 4 hour, like Blink, Twitter, Apple. There's a lot of them that pop up. But other than that, I stick on the 5 minute. Yeah, sometimes I play on the 15 minute just to look at something real quick, but I stay on the 5 minute. So there could be an uptrend on the 4 hour or the daily, but it's moving down in the 5 minute. Even like this right here, there could be an uptrend on Tesla, but it's moving down the past 2 days. That could just mean that the 4 hour is kind of resetting its trend. So not to worry, but you need to understand which one you're going to play. So if it's moving down the past couple days like it is on Tesla, and let's say the daily was in an uptrend, then we're going to want to probably either, you got to depend if you're going to go long. You got to decide if you're going to go long or if you're going to go short for a couple days or whatever. So obviously, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been buying some puts on Tesla. That's because overall, this trend is moving downward. You need to be able to decipher that other than your horizontal resistance and support lines, you need to be able to decipher where is the trend going. And it can be sideways, it can be up, or it can be down. There's really no other choice than that. So the three, you got to decide which one is it doing, and it's usually a pretty clear indication. If you can get your horizontal lines down, your support and resistances, and you don't even have to draw these lines. Like, the reason I drew these lines is so I could put it in the watch list. You don't even have to draw the trend lines. If you can tell just by looking at it and over time, a few times the chart and this stuff, you'll be able to, trust me. And you can tell with your eyeballs, like, hey, this is moving down. And you can see, without this line here, you'll eventually be able to see, like, okay, let me turn vision off real quick so we can see the top of that right there. This, you can see, okay, this is smacking up here multiple times, so we're going to put a line there, or with your eyeballs and your brain, put a line there. Try to grab as many of those tops as you can. Try to grab as many bottoms as you can there. That's your trend. And so you're going to see that thing start to just bounce back and forth in between it like a pinball machine. That's literally what it does. You play it back and forth, bouncing in between those lines. Now, where, like, if you guys notice in the watch list, I said don't touch a long position unless it breaks out of this. And so that means you would have wanted to see it, like the arrows show here, come down, test it, come back up, and shoot out of this. That's when we could look, okay, now we might be able to get a quick couple scalps or, an all-day ride on a good long position. Because now, after it broke out of that, it's changed the trend. So that's what you need to look for, first and foremost, before you trade anything. You need to figure out, and if you have trouble with it, holler at me, holler at CJ. Like, CJ literally goes live every morning. He's there. He's live trading stuff. He's calling stuff out. He's answering questions. Sometimes I'm in there. Sometimes I'm not, depending on how early it is, how late I stayed up the night before, what I got going on. But he's always in there. There's, I mean, ton of other people in there helping answer questions, helping find good stuff to trade. Um, like they'll be able to help you. You know, you can go, okay, well, what's a good one that everybody's been calling out lately? Like GSAT. Let's say somebody calls that GSAT, and then somebody else on the stream is going to say, oh, well, it's moving on a pretty good little intraday uptrend or a daily uptrend or a wedge or whatever. You can go look at that chart, and then with them saying that and you looking at the same chart, you'll be able to start to see what they're talking about. It just takes some screen time. So if you're willing to put in the work, and you're actually serious about making money with trading stocks, this is the type of stuff you need to do, and it's really not that much work for the reward that you can bring. Um, so like I said, like I was telling Chiefs earlier or somebody earlier, I got in here on the open of Tesla, bought some puts in 30 seconds. I was out, made $200. Yeah, when they were down here, they were worth $2,500 a piece. But you know what? I went in there, knew I was going to scalp it. That was my plan. And I executed on my plan. But that's the point. Is I made $200 in 30 seconds. If I had more settled cash to play with on my small Webull account, I mean, you can see where this doesn't add up to, well, should I go to work today or should I just make $200 in 30 seconds? Your choice. What's up?
Hey, sorry, bud. I don't want to take away.
No, come on, come on.
Yeah, we have a chance. Take a look at PACB.
Okay, okay.
Just if you know what, I don't want to take away from your course here. Sorry.
No, you're good. If I forget after we're done here, remind me. I'll look
Yeah,
at it.
please do. I think
That's a big name.
It might help with the guys here. Just,
Sure,
you know, as far as following trends, right? So.
sure.
We overnighted some GSAT calls. Like if you were looking at open like yesterday in the afternoon, we got in a position to secure some profit before the open. And then in the morning, the plan was as soon as it opens to get out. And if you got out when we got out, you were over 400%.
Whoop, whoop.
400%. Yeah.
People like that's impossible, but not on the stream.
$50 to get in there, and then you were getting out, and each one was worth over $100. If you just like were seeing the same things that we were seeing and tracking with us, like those are the types of things that we're
Yeah, it's great because we have not just my eyeballs, not just CJ's eyeballs, everybody's eyeballs. Literally, like it works out so good because we got all these people looking for these different stocks. Who's calling this out on Twitter? Who's calling this out on the scanner? What's in the Webull comments? You know, how many rocket ships? You know, what's in the watch list here in Discord? Who's calling something out here? You know, and it's like everybody works together. Everybody makes money. Literally, like I don't know. Other than last week when we were all getting hosed, and I don't know if it was all of our faults or just the market was trash. Yeah, I don't think we've really heard anybody other than that kind of stuff say that they've taken or they're taking a loss. This stream is super super powerful, and it's literally free. So those guys that are not coming in there, that don't have it, I mean, they're still even missing out. But luckily, you guys all have vision. So now, let me show you the magic and how you should be using vision. You're going to want to write this down. You're going to want to remember it. You're going to want to pay attention. Okay? See this little sell signal right here in the middle? And the Momo buy right here in the middle? Not even touching them. Why? Because they're not touching my lines. That's why. Let me show you what I mean. If you draw these lines in here, you could literally tell the future, and then vision confirms your thoughts and gives you all the confirmation you need to go into whatever position, whatever direction you want to go. So this momentum sell right here, somebody that like literally knows what they're talking about. I want one of the new traders to tell me why that Momo sell is right there. Other than it's on the open, don't tell me it's on the open, but tell me why it got smacked right there.
The doji candle?
that's an indication of what was going to happen, but no.
It bounced off resistance.
Yep, exactly. So like I said, you're playing in between these lines. You're playing from one line to the next, one line to the next, one line to the next. Like literally, like I said, once you get these lines and you got them in the general area, they don't have to be perfect, but once they're in the almost correct area, you can start. It'll if you put in this 5 to 10 minutes of work every day, or the night before you trade whatever you want to trade. So like I like to trade Tesla, Apple, Blink, Plug, etc., etc. I'm gonna have this stuff charted before I wake up in the morning, and I don't have to go chasing news on the top gainer penny stocks, none of that crap, because I can just come here. I don't have to chase nothing. I know that I can buy puts or I can buy calls and trade it up or trade it down. Now you guys can trade shares the same way. It's the same way. Don't think it's just for options or anything. But it's literally, you can tell the future, because once you see this stuff start to bounce back and forth in between these lines, you know exactly what's at least a 99% chance of what's going to happen next. Sometimes it'll fake you out, but it's not typical that it will. So right here we got a buy signal. Why did it give us a buy signal right there? Everybody was buying it up as it was coming back. It came down through that support, but it came right back up, tested it with, you see all these little red dojis right here. That's testing that support. And as soon as they see, hey, it's been testing it for about 30 minutes now, let's just let it go. Where's it going to go next? It's going to go to our next line, which is the resistance. That's where you sell it. And look, oh, Vision said take profit. Imagine that. Ain't that something? It's that simple. Put in the 5 to 10 minutes of work, and you can you can literally tell the future. You know exactly what it's going to do. It's like, I'm not even BSing you. It's that simple. Tell him, CJ. Tell him. That whew, it's so easy. Buy signal right as it come through this resistance, now is support, because it settled on it for a good 30 minutes there, and then boom, where are we selling it? The take profit, which happens to be at our resistance. So like I said, I'm not going to mess with these because I don't know what them guys is doing right there. Maybe I don't have a line right there. I probably look, it's right at 844 even. Imagine that. I should probably put a line right there. So another whole number, but anyway, so it comes up. I guess there should be a line right here at 844. It comes down, can't break through that, so it settles on it for a little bit, comes up, kind of pulls back a little bit there. Where are we going to look to take our profit? Right here at our next resistance, at our next line. So let's move on to the next one.
Dylan, do you change the candles to put your lines of support and resistance? Do you change them to the line?
Sure do.
Like the lines instead of
Sure
the
do.
candles?
Sometimes it depends on how hard is it, to read. Like I'll show you guys something here in a second. A lot of people like the regular candlesticks, and that's fine. I enjoy them sometimes too. But when I was charting this, I was kind of playing around, just poking back and forth between Heikenhashi and regular candles. A lot of these candles on regular candles, they were like poked way down through here. You couldn't tell that it was actually getting bought back up at these resistances and sold at these, or bought back up at the supports and sold at these resistances. And clearly with the Heikenhashi candles, you can tell with how pushed up that body is on that wick. That's a clear indication that, hey, the buyers are stronger than the sellers and they're pushing it up on that wick. Like I use that wick as like a price scale, and then the body of where the scale's at. So if it's getting pushed down, sellers are in the control. If it's getting pushed up, then it's the opposite. But so the reason I got these yellow circles right here is because back over here, when it fell the other day on a death dive, when Kathy Wood and some of us bought it up right here, that's where it got hit. That's where it hit and started to come back up. So that's why I put a circle right there, because I noticed, hey, it came back, touched it, blasted off like a mother right there. So if it ever comes down to that 840 and touches off, like that's a good level. Today it wasn't, but it's a pretty decent level. Yeah, and if you look back here, it's the same thing. So we're going to look at these levels. Where, if it takes a deep dive like this, pay attention to where it stops at, because that's going to be a very strong, solid support. So you know if it comes down to one of these levels again, which it looks like it's over here. If you look at this big dive right here, it looks like it's kind of being stopped out at the same spot. And guess what? Me and CJ did today at the end of the day. We we bought some calls, boys. We're most likely gonna sell them right on the open if it's up a little bit, and take some money and go on to the next one and and stuff. So anyway, that's what we're watching for, and then we see another circle right here. That's at the 850 level, which if you were here a little bit ago, I explained that's such a big number to be a support. So that's why that's there, and you see it both these areas, both my lines. Um, there's a Momo buy there. Let me get that out of the way.
You see that it fell through that 840
There's a buy right there.
as well. Kind of like looking like
Mm-hmm.
today. It fell all the way through 840 and then hit that bottom there and then run right there.
Yeah, if you can look back at these candles and you can see exactly. Let me zoom in on them here. You can see exactly what happened. It came down, poked it right here, and then you see this kind of doji shaped candle with a pretty decent sized body on it. There's a long wick hanging out the bottom and a shorter wick hanging out the top, and then it literally lands right there at the body of the candle, right there on that 840 support. So that tells me the buyers were pushing it up right there. They were a little bit stronger than the sellers, but once it started to go 10 more minutes, they got weak hands, and they sold out, or the sellers got real strong there. One of the two came down, but then they started buying it back up again, and you can see the bodies of these candles got pushed down. So that means that they were getting resisted pretty dang hard there, but they came through for the boys. Got it back up here a little bit. It consolidated right on the line, and so when it does that, it's really about to choose one direction. Really good, really good. So one of them's gonna say screw it, let it go. The other one's gonna say okay, no. And so that's when you would wait for this confirmation. You would wait for this candle, just like I was telling somebody earlier. You'd want to wait till one candle closes fully above or below. That's your confirmation if it's going to go up, if it's going to go down. Of course, it's never 100%. Nothing ever is with this stuff. So kind of play it cautious when you see something like that. But yeah, that's a really nice little textbook. Come down, play with the support, resistance, and pick back up. But you can see like this literally, I mean, it can't get any easier if you guys would just put in 5 to 10 minutes of the work. Vision can help you get rich, but it's not going to make you rich tomorrow. Like that's just not the way stuff works in life. If you want something like that out of life, trust me, you got to put in the work. And this is pretty easy work compared to a lot of stuff that you can make $200 in 30 seconds. Hell, you can ask Rhett. He made thousands of dollars in 14 seconds on Amazon. So, multiple times. So there's not, I don't know, any work actually that you could put in 5 to 10 minutes of work and get paid that much. But you see the momentum buy right there. Same thing. I mean, it got right on the open. We got a sell, big sell off right there. Pretty typical. But then if you were watching this, you could have been able to see, if you had your lines here, you could have been able to see exactly what was going on. So you could be able to look at this in the morning, okay, waiting, unless you're impatient, that's on you. It comes down, tests it a second time, kind of picks up, comes down, tests it again. So this is at least the third test. If you count each candle, it's way more, but when what I see the bulk, it's the third test of that support. Well, if it can't break it in 3 times or more, what do you think is going to happen? And then Vision gives a momentum buy signal right there off of the support. Being that early in the morning, where all the volume is, in early morning, everybody's there. Now you get later in the day, after lunchtime, there's not a whole lot of volume there because everybody wants to actually live their life instead of sitting in front of a computer. So you're going to get the biggest moves in the morning typically. So you could have told yourself, okay, there's a momentum buy there. It's only 11 a.m. There's a real good chance this thing's going to make some good moves. And even if you got in there for a scalp up to your 850 resistance, which was probably where I would have got out, honestly, because it's 850. It should have been a lot stronger than it was. But does anybody have any questions? Because I feel like This is it's
Are
some
you
kindergarten
are
stuff.
you using any secondary indicators, or are you just
Oh yeah,
using
sure,
uh,
sure. But technical analysis is always the first thing, always, always. And then, like I told somebody earlier, they asked me, "Hey, do you get in when the candle closes with the signal and confirms it, or do you get in when it's flashing?" And I tell everybody, like, if I see something like this, this is the type of stuff me and CJ do and everybody else do on the stream. We're sitting here basically calculating this stuff. Okay, we got one test already, come up, cool. Another test, and then you start to see a momentum buy flashing right there. We're already in. We're already in. I'll flip on what we typically use, which is like a stochastic indicator in the RSI. So you can see right here the RSI is low. I mean, this is low for Tesla. And then the stochastic right here, the blue line started to flip over to the top side of the orange line. Momentum buy flashing right on a support. Say no more. Say no more. Like me and CJ would already been talking about what strike you getting. Fingers on the trigger. What's our limit? What's our limit?
What's our
that
target?
that point the stars are all aligned.
Right, exactly.
That's
And,
perfect.
yeah, and not every time the stars are going to be perfectly aligned. RSI might be a little high on something, but everything else looks good.
It's a trade.
Right. Like on something like that, I would have bought a lot more contracts than I would buy on something if the RSI was a little higher than I like. But like you could, like CJ tells everybody all the time, that I don't personally do. You got size in, size out.
Scale in, scale out, baby.
Hmm.
Well, I've seen some of your posts. I'm like, I bought a contract, and it's like, oh yeah, Dylan bought 50.
Well, I don't typically size in because I want that limit when I want it, and I want it now, like that girl from the Willy Wonka original movie.
But to be fair, you jumped out of silver with those 50, right?
Right.
Right at the top.
Yeah, I still
So
got my five
you're on
runners.
move.
I still got my five runners,
No,
and
no,
that's
that would have hurt. If you were holding the 50, you'd be having some heavy bags.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is like, I don't typically size in, but I sure as hell will size out because if I have a number of contracts like that, like I've got 7 puts on Riot because time for Bitcoin to reset and come back to 35 or whatever it's going to come back to. But um, on that, I'll probably size out. I'll probably take 5, leave 2, because if they come into the money, I'm probably gonna be able to pay for those other 2, for free, like I did silver. Like it took 50 at $1,200 profit.
500%.
Yeah, yeah, and left 5 for runners. It was up 500% a couple days later, and we didn't take it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. We got until March, whatever. So, but this is how you guys need to be using Vision. I'm gonna be trying to do at least a 30-minute, hour-long live stream at nighttime every night, just because a lot of you guys sending us questions. Hey, it's just not working for me, or I don't know how to use it. Like, if
Can
you
I get two quick questions real quick?
sure, go ahead.
So using that example that you've been talking about, what would your strike price have been? Would you have gone up to the next support resistance line?
On
Or
the
would it have gone up?
on the momentum buy signal right there.
Yes.
Um, Honestly, probably 850 because it's not only a whole number, but it's half of 100. So you got to take, like, okay, so basically think of what would I buy? What would this guy buy? What would that guy buy? And the more and more you start thinking about this stuff in your head, it just becomes, it just becomes natural. Like, would I choose 875 over 850? Absolutely not, because 850 is half of 100. You don't hear people being like, oh, well, 875 is 3/4. 875 is 3/4 of 100. No, half of 100 over 75, over 25 all day long. Now, it also depends, like, are you wanting to buy at the money, in the money, out of the money? With Tesla, it's usually pretty safe if it's going in your direction to buy out of the money. Um, and you usually don't have enough money to buy in the money or at the money, so it's usually better to buy, like me and CJ picked up 900 strike calls today. uh, it moved like 2 pennies in our favor and we're already up like $20 or something. But it just, and a lot of people have a misconception that it has to get to that strike price for you to make money. No, it does not. It has to move towards your strike price, and hopefully you chose the right one with the right demand. That's
90%, over 90% of options are useless.
yeah. We ain't holding that.
Completely understand that. Second thing, how far back do you do your support and resistance lines? You go back 6 months, 2 months when you draw them all out.
As far as I need to. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. Like if I see something, here's the deal. If let me turn this stuff off real quick, and I'll kind of scope out here, and I'll show you. It's gonna kind of look busy at the top.
Because I was just gonna do a couple for like plug and blink after watching all the CJ stuff on his video today. So I was gonna do plug and blink and just kind of watch
Sure.
them. But I didn't know how far back I need to go to start drawing those lines out.
Yeah. Typically, I go on the daily. Sometimes I go on the weekly. But on something like Tesla, there's not going to be much weekly data because it's done nothing since it, since it IPO'd. It's done nothing but take off like a rocket, pun intended. So what I'm doing is I'm charting basically around a range of where I think that'll be, over the next week or two. I don't need to chart anything down here because it's not even close to there. So I'm just looking up here, and then a lot of times I'll go from the daily and then I'll go to the 4 hour, and then I'll go down from there. Sometimes I'll go to the 1 hour, but a lot of times I just skip straight to the 30 minute, and then you can see exactly where I grabbed those from. A lot of them. And then if we go to the 5 minute, then it kind of just zooms them in. You get in between them there, and you flick on vision and go at it. What's up?
Hey, sorry, bud. If whoever's listening could just turn their mics off, because I can hear a lot of reverb back there.
Whatever
I think
stream you're
that's
watching
you.
right
I
now,
think that's you, bud.
mute whatever stream you're watching. Bottom right volume button. Just click it.
Please, guys, thanks.
Yeah, just go mute the stream that you're watching.
You guys use extended hours?
Usually Rep is a bad guy.
I'm not. That's kind of a hard question because I look at extended hours when I want to get an idea of maybe what's going to happen when the market opens. But as far as charting, no, and I'll show you why. So the chart makes sense right now, right? Let me flip on the extended, and you're like, well, what the fuck just happened? Nothing makes sense because nobody cares. Just being honest, nobody cares because nobody's trading. Nobody that's got real money in this stuff, that's really trading this stuff. It's like Tesla and stuff. Like nobody's even. They were gone like hours ago. By the time market closes, they were gone. Yeah, exactly. They're not like you can see. I broke out of this right here, and you would have got ready to buy calls the next day, where all the rest of us were buying puts. Because well, it broke out of the trend. Well, no, it didn't. you're just on some messed up stuff, and then you flip it back. Oh, it makes sense again. So, like I said, though, if we flip on extended, and you look at what me and CJ did here today, this is where I told you guys to get some, last of the day puts, because it was before this signal was popping up. We've seen it smacking the top of our line here, which for some reason moved. It's because it's extended's on. Imagine that. So it came up, it smacked our line. Our line should be up here, by the way. You got a doji on there, and when that doji's smacking a line like that, you can guess what's about to happen. Especially when the overall trend is doing this. Now this is a bullish pin or a bearish pendant right here. A lot of people also call it a bear flag, but a bear flag is not so much a symmetrical triangle off of a pole, if you want to imagine it like that. A pendant's supposed to be symmetrical. So anyway, so we watched this. We almost bought right here on the green candle. We're not perfect, just like everybody else, and we were luckily. CJ was like, "Wait, what are we doing, man? Are we trying to pull another Apple?" Because we jumped the gun on Apple, but it still worked out for us on that swing. And so we were like, wait, we canceled. We actually had orders. I mean, probably about ready to get filled. We hurry up. Luckily canceled them. Seen that doji, we're like, oh yeah, that thing's about to turn. It's hitting the doji right on that resistance, because once it breaks out of this, that's no longer a support for that thing. And it did exactly what a bullish pendant should do, or a bearish pendant, sorry. It comes down, starts to make a wedge off of that, like I said, pole, if you want to imagine it like that. Once it breaks, this is typically what a bearish pendant does, is it breaks down out of the bottom and continues to go lower. A lot of people confuse it and think that it's going to bust out of the top. Tell me how many times you've seen this pattern. Do this. Never. So it did exactly what it should have done, and so we were like, wait, most stuff sells off end of day, and we got in. You can see my line right there. This is typically what I do. I put a position line about the same area I get in, and like right here it closed, and we were in the profit, like literally that little bit of a move, and we're already in green. And then it made this move back to 810. So we're hoping it makes a nice little good move off of that pendant now that it's finally broke out of it. So basically it can change, its trend basically, hopefully at least a little bit, to where in pre-market we hope it comes up a little bit and then gives us a time off the open to sell it, and we'll take some money. But yeah, pretty. You can see now. Watch where whoever asked the extended hours question. Watch where this line is now with extended hours on. We'll flip it off, and you can see where it's at now. So, big difference. But yeah, let me get back to real quick just how to use vision and making sure you guys are using it the right way. One, like I said, you gotta have your horizontal resistance support lines. I think it's an absolute must. If you're trading without them, stop, hold the phone, stop throwing money at your screen because you're just giving it away. And I don't want that to sound rude. I don't mean that to sound rude. If it does, I'm sorry. But you might as well walk up to somebody on the street, take out your paycheck, and hand it to them. Because you're you're kind of just out there blind.
I'll take it.
Right. I mean, you send it my way. I'll take good care of it. I promise. I promise I'll take care of it. But anyway, I mean, you can see even here with this little momentum sell signal right here, which these momentum sell signals, by the way, and the momentum buys are very sensitive right now. Don't worry, the updates with the beta group right now, they're not so sensitive anymore. But you can see why we got a sell signal there is because it bounced that resistance. And you can see why this chart right here, it came down and bounced right up off of that. Because it was that channel that I have drawn here was that resistance. So then it comes up, it bounces sell signal, and on the open, that's when I got those puts, and I sold them early, but whatever. But this is how you use vision. So other than you don't have to chart an up or down or sideways trend. You literally do not have to. If you're like fresh new at trading, start with the horizontal support and resistance lines, and you can literally. I mean, I don't mean to maybe make me sound like a scammer or something, but it's literally this easy. You play back and forth in between these things, and you sell at your resistance. And yeah, a lot of times it'll break through these, but a lot of times it'll break through these. You're never guaranteed either, so that's why you play in between, and you're selling at that next resistance point that you have drawn. I mean, if we get, once you get a little more screen time and you can start to see, okay, this is a bearish candle, this is a bullish candle, which I can show you everybody in the next live stream tomorrow. That's fine with me. We'll go over some more charts. We'll keep doing this every night, and then you can jump in CJ's live stream with everybody else, and I'm telling you, you'll grab it very, very quickly. And if you take long, I've heard a lot of people tell me, well, it takes me forever to chart. Do it a few times, practice it, do it the right way, and you'll be amazed at how fast you can do it. In a week's time, you'll be just flying through this stuff like it ain't nothing. You'll probably be selling your own stock trading book, selling a course or something. Knowledge, boy. Got this $80,000 Gallardo behind me. Look out. So anyway, so let's go to the next part. So comes down, finally finds a support. Let's get an average idea of where this support was. So if we can kind of come through here, we can kind of see a good line at 806.84. I would just go ahead and call that 807. Honestly, I would just call her 807. Like I said, yeah. What's up? No, I think it's yours, Cheaps. I think whoever you're listening, are you listening to my stream or somebody else's?
I'm listening to your stream and I got my mute on, so.
I think somebody else is echoing through you.
Not your mute. You have to mute the stream that you're watching. So like whatever stream you're watching, just go to the bottom right corner with the volume button and click.
Damn it, you're right, because I reopened.
Good deal. So right here we'll call it 807. And by the way, if you guys don't know, these boxes in TradingView, they signify hold numbers. As you can see here, there's 832.50, 830, 827.50. They signify whole numbers. So if you see some of this stuff, everything lining up at these boxes, there's a reason for it, and you can quickly identify that with, okay, that must be some type of whole number. So you could say like 807 right here, right? So it fell down until it found at least the sellers wanted to finally take their profit, the rich bastards. Uh, or a lot of buyers started coming in because it dropped so hard. A lot of times when something drops this hard, just like we seen when me and CJ I think bought some calls the last time, and then we got a nice little email afterwards and said Kathy Wood and Ark bought them up. That was the kind of icing on the cake. I just kind of failed to take profit early like I should have. But anyway, when stuff falls like this, that's when you need to start being greedy. I think actually, what's that guy's name that everybody's like thinks he's the investing god, the old man that never dies? Uh, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett like literally said, when others get scared, you get greedy. When they get greedy, you get scared. And like that's 100% true because I'm telling you right now, I've done this many times. You'd see the like I just did it when they said that people were storming the Capitol and all that stuff and everything fell. I immediately went. I picked a random stock. I literally was like, oh, Neo's the first one on my Webull watch list. Hit it, bought some calls because it fell so hard. What do you think it's going to do the next day or two? It's going to climb right back up. So same thing like this. So it either smacked a really good support, which I don't think that's what happened because nothing really looks like 807's really. I mean, there's a little bit right here, but that doesn't really look like a really strong spot. So,
More of a mental
right.
than anything.
Yeah, I think so. And then like people just seen it drop so hard, they're like, yeah, now's the time to get some cheap. But me and CJ got them cheaper, so haha. But here's the point. So even if you didn't have these lines right here, you could have one at 807. We could just take a simple line, and you can smack it by down there, by the way, and then you can double click it, and you can come in here and put the coordinates on it instead of trying to line it up with 807 with the mouse. That's a lot easier. You can also put a text on here just so everybody knows. You can say support right here. You can have it show up over here on the right side, left side, or middle. That's up to you. Little tip there. So say we only have that line because we say, okay, it's getting stopped out right there. It's getting stopped out right here. So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to watch for a buy signal the next time it gets stopped right there. Now here's where you can get in trouble is if you buy right there and you're like, yeah, to the moon, Tesla. No. No. You want to, like me and CJ tell everybody all day long, take your profit quickly.
Early and
Like, I mean, like faster than you think you should take it. And here's another thing. I even proved this to myself once again last week when I was up on Tesla. I was up $1,200 on it. Should have took the profit. You know what I told myself? I said, you know what? Tesla should be higher than this. Tesla's going to keep going up. When you hear yourself say that, that is your written exit. That's when you should take your money and run right then and there. I'm telling you, anybody that's ever said that to themselves, you're shaking your head right now. You're like, yeah, that makes sense because I've taken a loss for that. But it's literally what I'm trying to show you though. It's literally this easy. You buy off the supports, you sell them at the resistances. Like I said, you could literally only have that 807. Get in. Rhett, like himself, he'll tell you, like I explained earlier, he was in an Amazon trade. Did he leave again? Are you serious, Rhett? I'm kicking his ass. He was in an Amazon trade, and he showed his screenshot, and it was like a few $1,000. It was like 3,500 or 3,200 or something. And I was like, damn, good profit, And then I was sitting there looking at it a little longer, and I noticed the time he bought it and the time he sold it, there was 14 seconds in between, and he made like $3,500. That's how. So with like, you gotta take it quick. So like on something like this, that's why I try to get so many contracts at a time, because I know my strategy and what's worked the best for me for the profit to loss ratio is get in, get out, gone, on to the next one. So that's why I bought 50 calls on silver. That's why I bought, how many did I get on Tesla today? Like 5. uh, because they were,
Yeah, you got five. You got five.
they were less than $100 a piece. Like I told you up here, I bought these up here at $700 and sold them at 800. Down here, they were worth 2,500 a piece. So yeah, they like, man, $100 contract on Tesla on a Wednesday. That's nuts. So,
That being said, if the calls just go back to that 840, 850, like
oh geez, dude,
it's
I'm taking the rest of the week off. But anyway, like, you don't have to draw this in here, but also once you start being able to identify these trends, whether it's a downtrend, uptrend, sideways, start looking up Google Pictures, man. I mean, literally, start looking up Google Pictures. YouTube's got some good stuff on it too. Just be careful on who's trying to sell you this or that. I would go to Google Images and Investopedia. Investopedia has, I mean, just unlimited Ty Lopez knowledge. Unlimited. And they've even got video, like most of the definitions you go on there, like if you want to look up VWAP indicator, RSI, you don't know something, go to Google, type in RSI, Investopedia, it'll come up, and they have actual videos with the definition. Some guy usually had a whiteboard or whatever, drawing on it and explaining it to you, of course, with the written definition too. So if you're better at reading or if you're better at watching something and learning, go there. Put in the work if you want to make this a legit paycheck for yourself or extra income or whatever. Just put in the work and it'll come. But it's not going to come if you don't put in the work. And the work is learning a couple things. It's a lot better than going to high school and learning, algebra and stuff. I mean, this actually pays some bills. So you'll get this bullish and bearish pennant and flag and wedge and triangle. All this stuff it'll literally just start naturally coming to you because you'll go to a Google image. You'll see a chart with all of these major chart patterns, like I just explained and just called out, and you'll start to kind of recognize them in the chart as time goes on. The more and more times you watch the chart and watch it move, you'll know exactly what's happening. Like, I didn't have to draw these lines here. I drew them there to show everybody in the watch list. Like, when you start doing this as many times as me and CJ and everybody else does every day, you can literally eyeball this stuff and just call it. You know exactly what's doing. You can see all these most of these wicks hitting the same area, with your like in your brain line that you got drawn here in your mind, and as soon as it breaks that, what I tell you guys earlier, if it breaks up out of that wedge or out of that channel, it was going to come down to test it and continue up, or it's going to fall back through it. But that's what you're waiting for. You're waiting for it to come up out of there for a trend change, test it, and then your confirmation, your entry would be like right there. So if you see right here, what this do? Came down out of there, came back to test it, sent it, kept going. So your put entry or your short entry would be after that doji candle. So that's basically what you wait for. I mean, once you get those, you know exactly what direction it's going. And so, but the reason we bought calls is because this massive dump. And like I told everybody else earlier, this Tesla could come to 815, and me and TJ is going to be looking damn good. And that's a $5 move for Tesla. That's nothing. That's nothing for Tesla.
0.1%.
Like this move right here, I think it was what, $50 today?
Yeah, and did it in what, an hour?
Yeah, 48.66. I mean, this is Tesla every day. It's either up or down with $100 basically. So a $5 move. I mean, we're getting paid. Pretty decent little overnighter. I mean, literally, we bought this at the close, hold it overnight, and we have a very good chance of being in some money. But other than that, this is this is all you gotta do. I mean, you can go back in the chart, and you can see this stuff. You got buy signal on a support, Momo sell right after it tested that resistance there, and it fell back. Where did it get tested at? Got a little test on the support, wasn't strong enough, so it fell straight back through. Where do you think it's going to fall through to? Well, I'm going to be taking profit right there at the next one. Cool, it fell through here, and you can see that kind of that candle right there with a couple wicks hanging out of it. That's because it came down through it, tested it, see if it wanted to come back up and get supported on it. Well, nope, it didn't, so it fell down to the next one. Tested it, wasn't having it, fell through it. Came back up, dojied for a little bit, finally decided, hey, let's start to play, and then it came up through it. It literally, it plays back and forth in between these lines, and once you get these lines in there, I mean, it's just it's magical. I'm telling you, it's like having a future teller in your back pocket, literally. I'm not even joking. Like, look at this move right here. This is freaking nuts. Boom. If you were in this right here, I mean, you got a Momo buy off of that support. I mean, what else would you want to do right there?
We'll probably see that move, Dylan, tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so because this is what I was talking about earlier. Is it kind of made the same move off of this big down run right here? We kind of have kind of the same move right here where it broke out of like a pennant type deal right there, and then what it do right after it broke it? Trampoline boy.
If you leave a runner or two, you might be able to capture a
True, true. We might have to. The only regret is you didn't buy more. Same with silver. Like, fuck, I should have bought more of that stuff too. But it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, I don't have anything down here charted because the range isn't there yet. I might tomorrow, depending on if it goes up or down. We'll see. But I think we'll at least get on the open, take our money, and then decide what to do from there. And by the way, CJ and everybody else in the stream, they call out what they're deciding to do on all kinds of stuff all day. I'm typically in and out of there, but you can catch me in there in the morning. Catch me outside. I don't have a line right here, but you can see. Let me turn vision off, you guys. This is how easy it is. Like I have me a mental support right there where my crosshair is. Everybody see why? Yay, nay. Nod your head. We'll show you right here. Supported, supported, supported. Fell through it. Who cares? Got resisted. Come over here. Got resisted. Finally pushed above it. Tested the next resistance. No, we'll go back down. Supported, supported. Finally got up. Broke that resistance. Down, 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 down. That's why it ran, because it started breaking these resistances. Luckily, it started to break through them on the open. That's why it broke through all those, because it had the momentum and volume behind it. This is all it is. This is all it is. It's a process. It's a process. So when people come to me and they're like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing and stuff, and I ask them, are you charting? And they tell me no. I'm like, what are you doing with your life? Because like I said, you might as well go to the gas station and hand cheaps your money. Just hand it right over. I mean, you're out here just flying blind. You might go get in a F-22 Raptor and just close your eyes. What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, you can see over here exactly what these candles are doing. This is all it really has to go on until it gets some type of bad news or good news. This is all it really has to go on. So right here, I can imagine that there was some bad news on January 28th. That might have been. Was that when that all them? No, not the rocket. I think that was in February, but I think this is when maybe they were storming the Capitol or something. I don't know, but I can guarantee that some bad news caused that massive sell-off. And fear always moves faster than hope. So if you get some bad news like that, you better get some puts, boys. That's almost $67 right there. That's a mess.
That was an Elon tweet.
Oh, was it? What did he say? Did he say it was overvalued again?
I don't remember what it was, but that was off one of his tweets.
Earnings.
But their earnings was good. See, that was crap. Somebody must.
Well, they did a short campaign on their earnings.
Yeah, of course they did. But look, you can see where it got stopped on a good solid support. Like I can mentally put a line right here in my head. I'm not only looking right here. Look around. You can see if we go through here. If I leave my crosshairs right there, you can see right here at 11:10, 11:15. We can see a support right there. We can see a resistance right here. We can see another one right there. We can see why it ran a little bit right there because it started to break it out, and then we can see another one right there. Basically, it's that simple. You just start to kind of line these wicks up. And real quick, before I forget, make sure my chart isn't on autosave so I don't lose any of my charting. Okay. So we'll delete everything. We'll back out here. We'll turn this off, turn the volume off, get a nice blank chart going. I'll just kind of go over just some chart, like a very basic way that if you're having a hard time reading candle charts, This is a really simple way to start reading them. So we come over here, we'll flip the chart style to a line chart. Whoa, look at that. All the important points are already mapped out for you. You just got to put a line at the most common ones that you see. So we see some right here. We see a point up here, but then we see it stopped out right here. It usually, stocks usually will end the day on a support, typically. And you can back check me on that. Go ahead, it's worth a Google. So since that's the case, and we got one right here, so I'm going to put one I'm going to split those, okay? Because you got to remember we're on the daily, so we can fine tune these, and that's why I have a fat line. I use the fattest line because it gives me a little bit extra range to kind of play in. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to know the general area. And so I'm going to also put one right there at the bottom of that point because it's a really nice sharp point. And then I'm going to grab the uppermost one because there's two solid points at the same area right there, and that's 882.30. Now, like I said, once we get to a lower time frame, we'll probably see where we need to fine tune that. And I might want to put one kind of right in here because I see there's there's a resistance here, We see it all kind of getting supported right here and picking back up. So I'm going to put one right there. And we don't want to go too crazy yet on the daily chart because you got to remember we got to go all the way down to the 5 minute or whatever you're trading on. So now I'm going to jump, we'll kind of peek at the 4 hours, see if we can fine tune any of these. That's looking, and I'll bring this one down just to her. This one I'm going to kind of leave where it's at. This one I'm going to pick back up because you see that little knuckle right there in that line. Everybody see that? Let me zoom in right there. You see that little knuckle right there? I mean, something was bouncing it right there. We don't care what it is. We're about to find out here in a little bit anyway. So since it lines up with our other point, that's the point that I'm trying to make. Those two line up. That's not a coincidence. Now look at the price scale of where I just put that line. What is it, CJ?
Huh? What?
No, I was saying this point right here lines up with this little knuckle, that little kick right there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put that right there. Let me get it back to where I was.
Trying to dip down below it.
Here, hang on a minute. Let me just do this. What's the price at right there? On that pink line right there where my crosshair is?
810.
Exactly. It's 809.99, but what does that tell me? Whole number 810. Whole number. So now that we're on the 4 hour, I see a couple more points right here and kind of right there. So we're gonna just grab a couple more. Where'd they go? Right there. So I'm gonna put it right there. Again, we can fine tune these more as the lower time frame we go. Now we see a bunch of little knuckles coming in here where they start to bend, right? There's one right there, 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 one right there. And so, like I said, we don't want to get too many because remember we got to go in on down to the 5 minute where I like to trade. Like I said earlier, I kind of like to skip down to the 30 minute from here. You can check the 1 hour if you want to, but again, you don't want to start getting too many lines on there to where you can't see anything. Now, if you see some really nice ones that has a lot of important spots on it, then grab them. So you can see right here this little L shape. I mean, that's literally come down hard and then flattens out. So you want to start looking at stuff like that. Nice point there and a nice point there. So I'm definitely gonna put one right there. And if you can't see, I put it there because of these points right here. So we got a bunch of nice points, and then we got another one right there. So we got some type of support. It eventually failed, sure, but we got a nice support there. We got a good resistance there, another support there, and another resistance there. So we're trying to find the most common and what would look like the most important spots. Like I said, you don't have to be perfect. Like I see 2 points right here, right here, and here. But if you look over here to the right, there's not really anything there. But if you also look over to the right of where those points are, it's at 828 even. So you might think about that, because it's like I said, it's at 828 even. Whole number, you might want to just go ahead and put one there. Again, you can double click that, put the coordinates in. It's a lot easier than you sitting there trying to put it at 828 with your mouse while you're holding the clicker down and your tongue sticking out your mouth. Trust me, been there. So now that we're on the 5 minute, it can get a little busy. But again, you'll get a lot faster at this. So you're just looking for where do these points start to add up and line up. So we see a bunch right here, right through here at 814. Oh, imagine that, another whole number. So we're going to put a line there. We're going to come over here. We're going to see if we can find any more. I see a bunch of support right there. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Couple resistances there. Couple resistances there. So we're going to put it right there. Guess what? It's at 850. What? Look over here, 850. Look over here, 850. Look over here, 850, 850. So like it's this easy, guys. And literally, it's whew. And I will tell you, it is a lot easier to do this on a desktop, a laptop. I would say bare minimum like an iPad. You can do it on your phone. If you have the chance to do this on the computer, save your chart, go to work on your phone. These lines will still be there as long as you're signed into the same accounts. So think about that. But there's another line right there. Let's see. We're at 857.70. I'm going to go ahead and call that 850.75 or 857.75. Sorry. So I'm going to just bump that to that nice round little quarter amount. It is what it is. We're seeing some lines there, so we're going to go ahead and put it there. I'm not going to go too much more above. If this was me and I was going to rechart this stuff, I'd probably come down here and find some more. Just because now we're in this range down here. So up here doesn't matter too much to me until we start to get up or look like we're going in that direction. So like right here, I see one. And it's where my crosshairs are right now are 802.06. So I'm going to, go over there and change that to 802 even. So now we can come in here if you want to. You can zoom in a little further. Boom, look at all them lines right there. Oh, look, it's at the edge of a box. 808.03, you know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. 808 even. So, anybody got any questions on this? I feel like it's super easy, but I know a lot of people, have questions on it. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. The only stupid question is one that doesn't get asked.
Dylan.
What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to go ahead and ask. So when you started putting the resistance and support lines in, you started at 1 day, then moved to 4 hours, then
Yep.
to 30 minute, and then to 5?
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, that sounds great.
I'll show you one where I go to the weekly. Like I said, with Tesla, I'm not really going to be going to the weekly because it's just been doing nothing but ripping upwards, since it IPO'd. So there's no sense in doing the weekly, in my opinion, because there's no data that far back that's going to matter to you. But let me show you one that would matter. I'll load the boater. If you ever see the SRNE down under, hell, I'd say even $7 now. If it's ever down under $7, you better load shares on it, because it won't be down there that long. Because the pattern on this thing is just seen it a year ago, and it just comes up and down. So right now I'm on the weekly. You can see all these areas. This thing has the data. It's got the weekly data there to where we can actually find weekly support and resistances on there. If you can find weekly support and resistances, those are basically, in my opinion, that's what you want to swing trade. Because like if you're on an uptrend, hold on, buddy. If you're on an uptrend, you're gonna want to swing that from a weekly support to a weekly resistance.
Okay.
It's bullish to me.
Yeah, dude, I'm SR. We had calls on this thing at like $7, and we took a loss on it because one day it looked bad, and we were like, "No, we better get out now."
One indicator I always use is RSI.
Yeah, absolutely. RSI is great. It's probably my only favorite indicator. I like Stochastic, but RSI on everything. So we got back to the line chart, and we can just start popping some lines in here. You see some stuff right there. Oh, that's not the right line. We grab the horizontal right there. We see some stuff kind of right in here. We see some stuff in here. There's just a ton of lines you can put in. Again, you don't want to be getting too crazy out here. We see a bunch of stuff right there because remember we're on the weekly chart. But luckily, if you're going to be swing trading stuff like this, you can get in here, with a 4 hour. That's what I usually swing trade on, or the daily, depends on your style. So we got a really big resistance at 498. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put that right at $5. So obviously there's now we know why that $5 area has so many hits on it because it's $5. You know this isn't into triple digits yet, so we're still playing in those other whole numbers, single whole numbers and stuff. So $5, $10, $15. I guarantee there's some good psychological at 15. Like I mean, here I'll just blindly put a line at 15 and see if we can find anything. Oh, look at that! I nailed it. Right on 15. Right on. So yeah, right there, boom, boom. Start getting smacked right there at 15. If we go to daily, you can probably see a lot more of them. Yep, all right in there.
Like when you're charting the weekly too, like you got to realize you're going back years.
Oh yeah.
Like these lines are hard.
This is why I tell you, if you ever see SRNE down, I mean under $7 all day, but hell even 10. Like not contracts. Get some shares on it so you can sit on them if you have to for a minute. But if you look back at this trend, and you'll know exactly why this was on the load to boat list. This was number one killer on load to boat list that I had in Telegram. Because you look back at this pattern, it comes down, boom, shoots right back up. Comes down, boom, shoots right back up. I really believe if you have enough money to put in here, and you catch this thing coming down, you get it, you wait, boom, it shoots up. You could literally probably swing trade this stock alone if you had enough money to buy shares on it, and you wouldn't have to trade anything else because the pattern is just over and over and over and over. This is why it was there. And like again, to add on to what CJ was saying, when you have a weekly resistance or support, it's going to be the strongest. I mean, obviously monthly if you can get them, but typically you only want to go back. I only go back as far as a weekly at max. And then of course your daily is going to be the next strongest. Your 4 hour, the next strongest. Your 1 hour, 3 hour, whatever you're doing. The further the higher time frame you can go, the stronger that support and resistance is going to be. So always keep that in mind. A lot of people, when they do that, they color these a different color, which again, you can double click it, change the style. You can come in here, you can change it to green if you want to, pink, whatever floats your boat. Switch it and swap it to whatever color. You can label it. Again, you can label it, go to the text area, you can say weekly. That's not how you spell it. You can go weekly, and then boom, once you get down to the 5 minute or whatever you want to trade on, you know that this is a weekly. So if we zoom out, boom, we know, hey, this is a weekly. So look what I mean. This is textbook right here. Like I said, telling the freaking future, man. This is easy, CJ. What are they doing out here? What are they doing out here with their life? Look at this. We're on a weekly. We got our weekly over here. You guys see that? Road over here. Technical. But anyway. You see how we labeled it, right? We got a weekly. It's colored different. I would have chose a different color because it's not too much color different. We can see, okay, hey, it's hitting that weekly. We might want to load this thing up. What'd that thing do, bro? Freaking A. Shot right up off that thing. I mean, damn, dude. An $8 move, man. Right after me and CJ bought it, too.
Yeah.
An $8 move. And this thing on the contracts, man, it was paying good. The delta was just out of the world. The contracts were nothing. It moved like 3 pennies, and we were up like $300, $400, $500. Well, Bruce was up a lot more, but he loaded it.
He had like 200 contracts.
He loaded it.
Either at 200 or 400.
And we definitely cut her too soon, but we were trying to keep her safe. But you see, hopefully now you can. I mean, that's textbook. I just charted this with you guys and randomly threw some slappers in there. That got a weekly. Like I was saying, it's going to be stronger than anything you're going to be seeing, unless you can get like a monthly or a yearly. But typically, we're not going back that far. So when you see some support on a weekly like that, whew, load her up, boys. Falcon 9 ready to go.
Solid class on trading, or I'm sorry, charting.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir. I mean, there's more to it, sure, but I think we'll save the let's figure out how to find the trend, find the flags and yada yada and wedges and stuff. I will show you guys since I'll have to swap screens so the recorder will pick it up, because last time that was a fail. I'll show you guys how to find some, just kind of, it'll help you if you're new. Let me swap screens real quick for the people that couldn't join tonight. Oh yeah, that's what I did wrong. I got to change it in OBS too, so give me like 2 seconds. Sorry for the delay. Swap our OBS to FinViz. What is here? Boom shakalaka. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay, so I'm gonna search for wedges just so we can find them. So we're gonna go screener. If you guys don't know yet, you can go to any of the chats, !swing. It'll show you exactly how to use this FinViz scanner. Very, very, very powerful. So I don't really care about price right now. I just kind of want to show you how we can find patterns to start helping people identify them. So we're going to look at a strong wedge. So we got 118 tickers at a strong wedge. So we can hit charts right there. It'll show us the charts. FinViz automatically draws the lines in there for you. Pretty dummy proof. Pretty awesome. Hopefully Vision will start drawing lines in here like this for you soon. Let's find a nice classic textbook wedge. Oh, Rat. You're not even in here anymore, bro. Look at freaking Amazon. Look at Amazon. Okay, so we see our purple line up here. Whoop. We see our blue line right here. Whoop. Wedge, right? Looks like a wedge you'd stick underneath the school door, your schoolhouse door, keep it open so you can yell at your buddy across the hall, right? Everybody see it? We're good? Golden? So you can come in here on FinViz. Look, nice little crosshairs, right? You can come in here. It looks like maybe the 2nd day of September. This is a daily chart. You can come in here 2nd day of September, sorry. That's when the top of the wedge starts, right? And then you can come down here and you can see maybe middle of September, maybe like the 18th of September is when the bottom of the wedge starts. So we can come over here to a blank canvas, AMZN, of Amazon. We can turn off extended because nobody wants that stuff on when you're charting. Cut off the volume. We want to start on the daily at least because they're on there. You could do this on a 4-hour too, but it's going to be easier to line it up for new people when you're there where they're doing. Okay, so we said beginning of September, boom, we see the top of this wedge that they drew. You can come in here and just copy what they got. Copy what they got. I mean, you don't even have to be perfect with it. Just copy what they got. Don't worry, people on the recording for YouTube, I'm going to show you my masterpiece. About the middle of September. Boom, we see that little poker down right there. Little Bob Ross. We're going to paint some trees, some happy trees. Okay. Boom, there's our wedge. I think I need to adjust that top one actually. Yeah, because they have it kind of poking out there at the top, but I like that bit. We'll paint some happy trees. We'll get the top wicks here, crossing a little bit through the body. Get the idea, right? Let me swap over the OBS screen so our people on YouTube can see. Amazon stock quote. No, that's FinViz. Amazon unnamed. There we go. Boom. Now you can see it looks just like the FinViz. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. So like we can go in here to the 4-hour. If you want to, you can kind of see it a little bit more. Kind of see a little bit more movement in there. Again, for everybody that stayed with me still watching, here's where the magic comes in. This is how you want to be using Vision. Watch. You ready for this? I don't even know how Vision's going to look on here, but I have a pretty good idea. Wow, look at that. Boy, you know how much Amazon freaking pays and we're not trading this over here, CJ? What the hell are we doing with our life, dude?
You're missing out, but I can't. They're not as expensive. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Part up there, I think.
we missed all of it.
So,
My screen still froze on FinViz.
You got the FinViz.
oh, man, I traded. See, getting late. I need more coffee, guys. My bad. Stand by. Here, hang on. Let me redo this magic trick so you guys can see. I'm over here like I'm getting hyped up and you guys can't even see. What a time to be alive. Okay, you like it? What? OMG BFF.
Bro, that swing.
Oh, now you want to join in and talk, Fruke. Now check out the magic, Fruke. You ready to get him hyped up, my friend? You ready? I'm gonna flip vision on. Kaboom. Ready? Oh my gosh, look at them signals just smacking like they knew what they were doing. Look at the take profit up here. Where's it at?
Christmas all over again.
Right? Isn't that something? Like a Christmas tree on top of the car. Like you can just draw a little car down here. Look at this take profit. Why is the take profit up there? Somebody tell me. 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 It's a resistance. Why we got to take profit on that short signal right here? Because it's the support. Why is there a take profit up here? I'm on daily. But the 4 hours is going to show you the same. 4 hours is going to show you the same.
Can you go to the farm?
Well, of course, Farouk. You know I can, buddy. You know I can, sir.
I'm just trying to look at it.
You guys want to get in a couple faster trades? Boom, there you go. Ain't nothing to it, just to do it. You see what the public chat, the people that don't have vision, are missing out on? You see this? And they're skeptical of vision. I mean, get out of here with that. I mean, jeez, man. I tell you, like, if that doesn't make you want to swing trade Amazon, I don't know what will. I mean, it's like you identify the trend. People that are having trouble trading, you identify the trend first, and the support and the resistance lines. Once you got that, it's like taking candy from a baby. Because now you're not the guy that's out here just throwing money at Amazon. You're the guy that knows what's going to happen most likely. What's like where's it going? What's going to happen? And boom, now you're out here taking money from these newbies. Because that's if you don't know, that's what stock trading is. You're basically trading shares and contracts and whatnot back and forth, trying to get an advantage on the next guy. But I see something right here. That's why I'm over here trying to put a line. Oh, look at that, 525 or 33225 even. You guys see that little spot right there?
It's an average.
It's right in the middle of that wedge, kind of, huh? Ain't that something? Let me see. Now the VWAP's gonna roll with it. Yeah, see, it's rolling with it on the daily. It's on the daily.
The moving average?
Are you talking about like you're thinking of, I think, like the red to blue regression deal, I think.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately doesn't work for wedges. Not yet. Hopefully they do. But you can see like the midpoint of this wedge. I'm gonna have to shut you down there, guy. I'm gonna have to shut you down. Sorry. Echo. Got him. Okay, so you can see the midpoint right here of this wedge just so happens to be kind of where these things are getting smacked a little bit. So you got the reversal risk signal. I mean, gosh damn. I mean, vision should really be over $100 a month. I mean, you just say, I mean, with the potential that you can make with vision, as long as, like, literally, we have 2 lines drawn in this chart. 3, sorry. We got the middle line, but we got 2 lines, main lines drawn in this chart. And if you had enough money to trade Amazon, but you don't even have, this could be on something that's $2 right now or 30 cents. Like, identify the trend, identify supports, resistances. Now you know what you're doing. You're buying, you're going long off supports if they confirm that they're going to be supported. You're selling at the closest resistance if you're going to play it safe, of course. Because there's like, you get that reversal risk right here with vision, because there was a very good reversal risk right there. There was no guarantee that this was going to break up and keep going up to that resistance. No guarantee at all. So that's why I say if you're going to play it safe and take your money while you got it, that's where you'd be getting out. You're going to play to that resistance. Obviously, the main resistance there is 32.25 for whatever reason. So man, I can't say it enough. It's that easy. As long as if you're serious about it, put in the work. Very little work. I mean, this is Cheap's telling, man. Cheap's literally, he sees what direction the trend's going. He's told you guys before, and he loads $50,000+ into stock, and you heard how much he's making over there.
Well, I just found up my iRobot. Sorry, guys. It just blew out earnings. So as we're talking here, I made close to $28,000. So.
Nothing to shake a stick at. Shake a stick at it. Congrats, Chiefs. Congrats.
Did you even get a new laptop?
So Dylan, I got a question. So
That's why I can only talk once in a while because my laptop is broken. So that's why I think my buddy there, Dylan, told me like at least buy an Apple that's something more sturdy than this Dell. So
I love the. I mean, if you're at your desk, I would go with an iMac just because it's the desktop. You know, that's what I have in front of me, the 27-inch iMac, and it's just beautiful. But you
you might be thinking one ahead of me because I'm grabbing my laptop and my screen's falling off.
know.
Going like, why did you hire someone with you? And I'm going
Yeah.
like, well, I just want to wear this one out. And she goes, it's worn pretty good.
Yeah, Bob, you just told him you made 28,000. I mean, I think you can afford $1,300 laptop.
Yeah, I wrote about my record earning, so
Awesome, man.
doing good. And I was going to tell you about Pop B there, if you guys want to take a look at trends. And I follow a little bit different than Dylan does. I mean, Dylan, but mind you, Dylan's gold. I mean, Dylan's a freaking amazing guy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
As well as Reynolds. But if I follow long-term trend,
Yeah, we have different trading styles. I'm more of a day trader, scalper, and.
per hour, because I also work full-time.
Hmm.
I'm a professional salesman, and so I make $400,000 a year on this side. I make $1 million aside this year on this side. So Dylan is just killing it on me. And I tell you, this guy here, if you guys want to make money, listen to Dylan. This man here is a gold mine to be had. I told him when I first saw this. I don't know if you remember this, Dylan.
Hmm.
I said, "You do not know what you're dealing with. But you're dealing with gold, Brent."
Yeah, you said it. You said it, man. That's why I just said, like, you look at this Amazon trend. All we did was put 3 lines in here, and like Amazon could literally make you thousands. I mean, just like I said, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be Amazon, but Vision literally.
Sir, I don't complicate it.
Whew.
I make it simple.
Yeah,
I just
best
do
way to
three
do it.
things. I follow trend. I follow RSI. No, sorry, 4 things. I follow trend. I follow RSI. I follow volume, and most importantly, I follow vision.
Hmm.
Vision is the key to making your trade successful. And I mean, Dylan, I'm gonna send you a check for $10,000 tomorrow, man. I tell you, what do you do?
No, no, don't be doing that.
Nuts, you know.
Don't be doing
But
that.
I would sooner do as you told me. Help other people out. I'm helping other people all over the place.
100%. Hell yeah.
And they're starting to make money with that. And they're not coming into vision yet. They're asking me questions, and I'm bringing them over to you, buddy.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Like Chief said, if I'm not around though, like I will pat my own back. I know my stuff, but if I'm not around, which usually I'm not because I'm usually busy, CJ's here live every single morning at like usually all day and all night, really. But
I'm super busy because I also run another company on the side. But if you guys ever really need some help, I'm here for you.
awesome.
God bless you, buddy. And
Thank you. You too.
And
You
Josh
too.
and all you guys are like amazing people.
Cheap.
My wife said to me that don't trust anybody, and then all she goes, trust them. They are good people.
I like her style. I
God
like her
bless you
style.
guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you. You too.
So I got a question. So I'm looking at the Amazon chart that you guys draw. Are you guys buying the call option when you get the buy signal and sell and take profits? And then are you like buying a put option when it's going down in between that?
I mean, if you want to play it and trade that fast, I mean, this is on daily charts, so sure, you got enough time in between. But uh, honestly, like, it's a personal preference. I believe of where you're gonna take profit because, like,
Because I was blocked a while ago. I was trying to ask a question. You were showing a wedge, and you
mm-hmm,
said play it, queen it, and you said take profits, get in, get out. But
mm-hmm.
when you say get out, move on to the next. You say move on to the next stop or move on to the next buy.
Yeah, that's personal preference, man. That's up to you because, like, this, like, again, this is on the daily chart. So say you got in on this buy signal, you rode it here for 4 days, which was, I mean, a 4 day move on Amazon, nothing but green. Like, whew, you paid off the house. Anyway, and so, like, you got to wait for, your next position, right? So if you wanted to wait till up here, up here, if it gets smacked and doesn't pass through this and break out, well, now it's put city. I mean, that is a dummy call. I mean, somebody that wears helmets and lick windows like could have told you that buy some puts right there, right? I mean, you would have been riding this. How many days is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this is probably 2 weeks worth of just nothing but, and the whole neighborhood. I mean, like it was a dummy call. You know, okay, it's not getting broke out, and you can clearly tell by that second candle that's touching that it wasn't breaking out. Why? Because short shorted body right there, but the wicks are basically flat. And it's following that same line. You see it kind of has an angle to it. They're flat, but they kind of have an angle to it that matches our line. And then you get this doji right here, and then the take profit signal. That take profit signal is for that buy signal that's down there. So what's that mean? Put city, baby. Put city. So I mean, it's pretty textbook, just kind of dummy stuff. But like I said, when I say on to the next one, on to the next one, what I mean is, like, like I said, there's 2 weeks right here worth of downplay that you could be in, or maybe you took profit right here once we started to get back green, at that midpoint. You're gonna have to wait for the next signal for 5, 6, or whatever days, however many minutes, depending on what you're trading and what time frame. So what I mean by that is, like, go on to the next one. I mean, it's all up to your trading style, really. Like me and CJ and everybody else on the live stream, we like to bounce to this one, take some money, go to this one, take some money. I mean, it also depends on, hey, did we see something at the time? Is there multiple things for us to trade, or is everything looking crappy today? So it depends on a lot of stuff, but that's what I mean. I mean, just boom, take your profit, on to the next one. So I might do some puts on Tesla this morning, and then, okay, we'll plug your Riot or whatever is going this way. Let's go see if we can find a spot to get in and take a little scalp off that too.
Amazon's in a down.
Gotcha, I appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem.
Amazon's in a downtrend, everyone.
Yeah. I mean, if you look right here, it just got smacked. So.
Because of the news from Jeff Bezos.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, because I didn't look at the earnings.
Me either.
They did well.
It's like $3,000 or $4,000 a contract, I think, at least. So.
No.
Are they more?
$500.
What? How much are puts right now?
3360 option.
What's the strike?
30. Hold on. I'll go.
Option?
Yeah, I was just looking on my phone. Hold on. Go
Yeah,
all the way
make
to
sure.
the bottom here. I was looking at 3360 is 541. 541. Weekly. They're weekly.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're talking about option.
I'm looking to go to at least to the 22nd. So what are we looking at, like right there?
So you want to go to February 26th?
Okay. How much?
Let's look at the 30. Do you want to do 3600? Nice round number.
Sure. Or 3,200. 3,200 is like right there. Fat round number.
3206.
Makes sense. It's got some demand, huh?
But the 35s are 14.
Okay, that's not too bad.
36 is.
Wait, 35 is like way up there out of the trend.
Well, yeah, no, of course, but like it's right now. It's in a downtrend for the week. But
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How much are puts?
Oh, for puts?
Yeah.
You want puts?
Puts at 3,200. It just got smacked by that resistance.
Class price 40.50.
How much?
40.50.
Okay, that sounds more like it. That sounds more like it. But I mean, how much is it gonna pay out? You get the 3,200.
Yeah, I mean the 3,000 are
What is the delta on those things?
the bid 815 on the 3,000. The delta, let's look at the green. Delta's 0.10. But
Yeah, I don't know.
a killer, man.
I bet.
1.1.
Yeah, this damn.
But I thought Amazon weeklies would have been way more expensive.
Me too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They must have got cheap since Rat was trading them.
Yeah, I mean, like, dang. I mean, it is also Wednesday.
True. They were probably pretty high on Monday. But yeah, everybody, just so I can cut
The
this recording off.
3200 weeklies are 385.
That's not bad.
You can probably see some push on.
Not bad. Oh, let me remove these lines. We'll open the air for questions real quick, so we can cut this off, get it uploaded to YouTube. Hope everybody understands, like, this is how to use Vision, but most important, this is how to trade. This is how you should be trading every day. You gotta have a plan in motion. Your plan is play off supports to the resistances. Once you get a little better, you can start playing with these trends. I just showed you. You can go to FinViz very easily, copy where they got their trend, their lines at. Depending on if you want, you can do the same thing. You can search their uptrends. You can search their downtrends. You can search wedges, up wedges, down wedges. I mean, all kinds of stuff on FinViz, and then just copy it over here into TradingView and start to trade it. That's simple. That's simple.
If you swing some weeklies when it breaks out of this downtrend, the 35s, they're right now the 35s is to give you like they're $1.42. And it's like that's not tangible. Like for it to get all the way back up to 34 when it breaks its trend.
Do you think when it breaks that wedge it's gonna go up or down?
I mean, them wicks were just up at over 42.25 or 32.25, 34.25. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
I would personally buy puts right now.
yeah, no, it's gonna fall further.
Yeah.
Like right now, it was in a bullish kind of flag
But
at the beginning. And
I
then
tell you,
fell
the next time it comes down and touches that support on that wedge, I would be looking for some buy signals.
Well, the 3200 support is like really strong.
I would be looking for some buy signals right down in here because it's at the end of that wedge for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Popped a 1 hour buy at 3210 on the 29th, and then just if you listen to Vision, before it didn't get a take profit or anything. It just went to the highest point. That was 7% on Amazon. That's $227.
Jeez, dude.
So
Massive.
A delta that has like a modest 0.8
Massive.
times 227. Not even factor in.
Like I said,
Factor in IVs.
man, like I said, Rat literally, he might have had 1 or 2 contracts, but he was in 14 seconds or 21 seconds. It was something stupid small, and he made like $3,200 or $3,500.
Yeah.
Less than half a minute. Like, it was nuts. But
How close to the money was he?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he buys typically.
Yeah. Just added
Wait,
it.
who are you talking about?
Rhett.
No.
But yes, sir, fellas and ladies. This is
You think when it breaks that wedge it's gonna go up?
yeah, it's Amazon. I don't see it just plummeting. It's in a wedge right now. I mean, really, you could kind of call it a bull flag if you wanted to, if you kind of looked at it overall.
It was almost like a bull flag.
Yeah. So I that's why I said if you see this, it's at the end of the wedge now, boys and girls. So you see this thing come down here and get a buy signal, I would be looking to swing it for that resistance at least.
And
Because you see this. They tried to break it on that last one. They tried to break it right there.
I mean, purple dots. I mean, they're doing well.
Yeah.
That momentum buy.
To see some honest dots on Amazon, that's saying something.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this move right here on that Momo buy.
Yeah, that's the one I was pulling.
Green honest dots, just.
The 1
we
hour
told them
call that
about
out.
listening to Vision.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's learned that lesson. If Vision says to sell, you better sell. We've all taken a hit because we were like, no, it's still going. Vision, what are you talking about?
Especially if it says sell, get out.
But does anybody have any questions on trading back and forth between support, resistance, or anything? I mean, this is yeah. Go ahead.
I'm a beginner.
Okay.
I got $1,000. To use for doing options. What would you suggest for me tonight? What stock to chart and start play with to start as a beginner?
Honestly, I think a lot of people are gonna have a lot of different opinions, but I think Mara and Riot would be some good ones for you because Riot's pretty cheap.
No, I just sold out of Mara.
Riot's pretty cheap, and I mean, all you gotta do is just pay attention to Bitcoin, and it kind of gives you an idea of where it should be.
It's a good one. It follows the same
Yeah, I've never traded that. I know a lot of people trade that, so um,
AMD.
So that right, you said Riot.
yeah,
What's the ticker?
RIOT.
Okay. So I need to go to that. Now, do you do just like you did on this trading today? Is go in and make a line and draw my resistance, my support
Yep,
lines in the
Yeah.
daily, then
yep.
do the 4 hour, and then do the 5 minute.
Yeah, I typically I'd go daily, 4 hour, 30 minute, down to the five, and then
Okay.
this is gonna be recorded right after we get off here. It's gonna be uploaded on YouTube. I've got a bunch of videos on this stuff already on there. Um, so I would kind of watch our YouTube channel.
Hey, you can also check out Spy
Hmm.
and Wells Fargo as well. Spy's the most traded, like,
Yes, sir.
yeah, out there. So
Spy. The only thing you need to watch out for is they're not weeklies. They're every other day. So you got contracts that expire Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you got to be careful which ones you're buying, and so tomorrow you're only going to be able to buy Friday expiration. I mean, of course you can buy next week and whatnot.
I had to leave here for a sec. I just sold out of Mara, but I'm going to give it a few days of weakness.
Hmm.
I'm taking a look at the RSI, just that it'll come down a little bit. But I think it's a great stock to get into. Um, so I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I just we seen Bitcoin dropping today, so we bought some Riot puts.
with some time on them, like a little Riot
Yep.
swing.
No, I think it'll pay tomorrow or the next day, tomorrow or Friday.
The weeklies to pay for me. It was 140.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
I'm just putting some consolidation towards it, and I think Mara is going to be fine. I'll probably jump back into it on Monday. Just watching closely here.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want some Chiefs, I don't know if you've been taking a look this week, but just look, just take a look. You'll get a kick out of it at what all the weed stocks have been doing this week.
So I've been following. I got a few of them too.
It's been a kick, man.
I got
If
26 I'm following, yeah. So
if you like shares too, something somebody's been calling out. It's not my DD, but Tilray is about to do a merger with another weed stock. Is it Afra, right? And pretty much it's like 0.83 shares of Tilray for every one Afra you get. So all the difference in between goes straight in your pocket when the merger happens. The merger's supposed to be happening, I think is it May? I'm thinking May. I don't know. It's just something to check out. I don't.
what's the symbol there, bud? Sorry.
TLRY.
Oh yeah, Tilray. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty big name nowadays.
Doing a merger with Afra. It's just some interesting stuff, and a lot of a lot behind it as well.
The only thing is that when I watch these things and I take a look at my charts, and I always follow my technique, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always use Vision Ray as my basic. I see this thing going exponential. Like I don't like exponential because it always comes back down exponential. So it's my. But who knows? I mean, it could be from 63 to 143 overnight. It just it's just how it goes. But my system, I tell you, I follow it and I listen to Dylan's vision. I mean, my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Buddy, I tell you, a millionaire within about three or 4 more months. So, well, not this, my other accounts. So it just goes. This is a fantastic trading route, man.
He's not bullshitting.
Follow it, guys. Just make sure you listen to your rules. Don't ever take this. Don't ever take Discord for go. Oh yeah, well it's saying sell. I'm gonna sell. I'm not gonna sell. I'm gonna hold. You're gonna find out. You're gonna make a mistake. Follow this system, man. This is amazing stuff.
Absolutely, it's
You're a celebrity, man.
No, I'm not. I tell you, who's the gold here is my buddy Dylan. That is gold and Rhett. I tell you, me shit for not following the rule.
Yeah, yeah, Rhett's a good guy.
I didn't follow the rule last month. I lost $14,000 overnight, and all of a sudden I didn't come out. I came out green, but you know what? I didn't listen. You know, and it just happens, right? You get a little bit cocky and you think yourself that you're following the rule. And Dylan's rule is always gold, man. This vision stuff. I don't care what you guys think about me or whatever goes. Rules are rules, and Dylan's rules, Vision's rules are amazing. So just follow them, guys.
Chiefs, you were one hell of a salesman. You know
No, don't say that. I'll tell you one thing. I've been doing this for like 35 years now, and I've found systems that work. I've found systems that didn't work. This right here, I don't follow Dylan's rule right to the T. I follow Dylan's sell and buy signals according
Yeah.
to my rule.
Yeah, me and Cheeps have two different trading styles.
My rule, and it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, me and you trade totally different.
Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'm gonna be $38,000 richer because of my robots. You know what? Good night, guys.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we have totally different trading styles, Cheeps. You're more of a swinger. I'm more of a give me it now.
Do you scalp weeklies, and at what point do you switch to the next week?
Honestly, sometimes it depends on like the price of the contract. But yeah, typically it's a scalper. I usually get the same week, unless it's Friday.
Dylan, you're the one who taught me how to trade. You know, on your vision system.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, 4 hours is great, man. Oh, I love it. Love the 4 hour. But yeah, so I like to get weeklies because I'm scalping. I'm in there and out of there usually within, at max I would say 30 minutes, maybe 45, depending on what kind of move it's making. But if it comes Thursday or Friday, I might get next week. You know, if they're not too expensive, because once you tack on that extra time, you got that extra time to make that money. Make that profit and get into that profit. So, that time is going to be built into the price of the contract. So you got to remember that. But that's when you can step out. Like if Tesla's at $700, you can go get a crazy call for 900 next Friday. Because like me and CJ say, like you don't have to get to 900. It can get to $50 over what you bought it basically. If you bought it at 700 and it got to 750, well, you're going to be in profit. Now, obviously, it helps if that 900 call has a lot of open interest, has a lot of volume, aka demand. That's going to help you make more profit, but it just needs to move in your favor and take your profit when you got it.
And you also got to realize, what is your trading strategy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to do day trading, or do you guys want to do like take yourself a little bit of a breather? When like I work full time, and as I mentioned before, I don't like to trade all the time, but I love trading. I do this as a part-time hobby, and thanks to Dylan, I mean I'm doing fantastic at it, and it's a secondary income. So other people like to take a look at a different strategy, like to go like as a retirement income. With you, got to take a look at what you want. Don't kid yourself. This is the key to making yourselves money. Now, if you want to do what Dylan is saying and just do some day trading, that's great. Follow his system. He has got himself a beautiful golden system here. I don't do that. Oh, shit, my laptop.
There goes the screen. I'll send you a link for a MacBook.
I do a 4 hour, and I also follow three other indicators. I follow the long-term trend, I follow RSI, and I follow volume. And if you guys want any help in following that, I mean, Dylan is helping you. I'm helping anybody that Dylan is helped me with. Dylan has helped me immensely. This guy here is gold. So, Dylan, I tell
Thank you,
So,
sir. Thank you.
but if you guys even want to go longer trend, I mean, go out to the month or the week. Shit, you guys can make money like this vision algo is like godsend. Like if I had this like 10 years ago, I mean, I wouldn't be a millionaire. I'd be a fucking billionaire, man.
Oh,
I'll be looking at
got Bob
being
cussing tonight.
it's
Tell him.
discipline, guys. It's discipline.
Ooh, it is. Ooh, it
Sell
is.
when it says sell. Buy when it says buy. But you got to have a few little other categories in there too. So, I mean, it's.
You know
I'm
what?
gonna just say wow. Thanks, Dylan.
No problem, buddy.
And Josh and all the guys behind there and Rhett and you guys. And then what's that girl's name?
Which one?
Oh, maybe CJ, but thanks CJ. But the one.
You talking about cash?
No, she's not on here right now. But anyways, amazing support. You know, I wasn't feeling good about when I first signed up, and they're going like, you know, what do you need help with? What do you need help with? And then all of a sudden, I'm going like, holy crap, this is like the golden grail. And I told that to Dylan, and in my second email to them, or my text to him, I said,
Sure did.
you got yourself a golden grail here, sir. But you're
Sure
going to
did.
make a massive amount of money for people. Remember that, Dylan?
Yep. Yeah, I still got. I can go screenshot it right now. It's right there on Facebook.
If you wish, I'll give blessing on it.
Thank you, sir.
Guys, I can't say enough. Trust what this system says.
I like you when you get on here, Chiefs.
Don't go against it because this, you're gonna lose, right? So,
Oof.
man, I get cocky sometimes, like I did last month, and you know what? It's a great system.
Hey, I can tell you the reason why I went from 1,200 green to 1,600 negative on Tesla last week or the week before. Didn't follow my rules. Didn't stay disciplined with it.
And you get these couple little droplings, like all of a sudden, like 18% increase because you're following. And you all of a sudden you wake up in the morning and go, holy crap! I didn't do no work or nothing, and I'm up, like I trade big bucks, right? So, and that's what Dylan always calls me, big bucks. or cheapo. But it's a fantastic system, guys. Do yourself a favor. If you're gonna follow Vision Algo, make sure that you follow his rules. The system rules. When it says sell, you sell. When it says buy, you buy. Sometimes you're gonna find it's gonna be a shit mistake, whatever. It doesn't matter. Wash it off. But you're going to be in the end result. You're going to make a ton of money with this system. And well, I can tell you, like I said, without this system, I would not be nowhere near what I'm doing right now. And my wife is looking at what I'm doing. She's going like, "When are you going to quit your job?"
I like it when you're over here, Chiefs.
And I get paid nothing from these guys. I want nothing from these guys. I want them to not. They were going to give me a discount, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to accept the discount. only because. But I would certainly love them to charge me full price because I cannot see anything. There's a flaw within this. This is a fantastic trading system, guys. Just do it and follow the rules, please.
Thank you, Chiefs. But wait, there's more. It's like you just gotta, like for me, you gotta chart it. You gotta chart. You gotta figure out where the trend is, what the trend is, and play with it, not against it. Play the signals in between your support and resistance. Yeah, and I'm talking about mainly from a day trading perspective. Of course, it works the same way as swing trading, support to resistance, just like we did on Apple, CJ. Twitter, same thing with Twitter, which we should have stayed in or bought some more of because that thing's on a runner right now. It's that easy, but I see a lot of people struggling with it, so that's why I'm going to start doing these little lives every night, try to help people. So if anybody else has any questions, let me know so I can keep this not too long. We're at 2 hours right now, and I'm going to upload this to YouTube. So anybody have any questions?
I think I am gonna bow out here though, Dylan.
Yeah, no problem.
Try to grab some Z's.
Same.
You guys take care. If you guys have any other questions,
CJ will be live in the morning, everybody.
I'll be live in the morning. Shoot me a message. Later, guys.
See you, CJ. Anybody else have any questions?
Well, I'm on the West Coast. It's only 9 o'clock in the evening.
Lucky?
Yeah. Hey, I showed up late. Can you do everything all over again?
No, you're beat. No, it'll be on YouTube, and well, it might take a minute to upload it, but I would say within 30 minutes to an hour, it'll be on there. No problem. I'll link it here in Discord too. No questions? No questions? Anybody?
Or the guy that was talking, the Chiefs.
Yeah. Chiefs. Big money?
Is it Chiefs or Chiefs?
It's Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's a cheap ass.
Well, see, I've never swing traded contracts. Do you swing trade contracts or shares?
He's shares, man. All shares.
All shares?
All shares.
And shares.
Okay, that answers my question.
Big money Chiefs. The name doesn't go with how much he's making. Well, Chiefs, I'm glad you're doing good, buddy. Glad you're doing good.
Hey, Bill. We got to talk about this strategy I'm talking about.
Sure.
You and I and Josh and whoever's going to be the writers there.
Oh, yeah.
This thing is gold. And it just put us up to the next level there. It's just crazy stuff.
Okay.
So.
You're good with messaging back and forth in Discord, or you want me to like get a group message with me, you, and Josh in Facebook?
I hate Discord because
Okay.
I have an old laptop here right now.
Yeah.
But mind you, like I told you, it's falling apart.
I got you.
I'm buying a new one.
Okay.
I told my wife once I made $15,000 today, and she goes, "Oh yeah, go buy yourself a new laptop."
She give you a little bit of allowance?
Dude, you guys are freaking making me too rich.
Better pay your taxes.
Crazy. I told her, I says, I got to change this into numbers because it's just insane. Thanks, Dylan.
No problem, man. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, you're doing the work, so
No, I'm not.
pat yourself on the back.
You guys made the rules, and thank you so much, my friend.
Of course. All right, guys. I'm gonna cut it off. My messages are always open. If you guys need to ask any questions, just let me know. And then I'm gonna try to be on live tomorrow again around 9 o'clock, and then so on.
Well, one thing.
What's up, Sheep? What's up?
If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor,
Mm-hmm.
if you could have somebody who's a good, like somebody who's a really good, like rep or something like that, who knows how to trade options. I don't know if you do that or not.
Yeah.
But I've never traded an option in my life, and I would like to learn how to do it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's
Somebody can walk me through one of them, kind of a thing.
Sure.
Or a group of us do it, just to show us. I don't care if I win money, lose money, whatever. I just want to see what it takes to make an option trade.
Yep. It's I mean, you're gonna be looking to swing trade him, right?
It doesn't matter. I just want to learn how to open and close a trade.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never done it, and it's one of those things that you're walking into deep water, and you're not sure whether or not it's going to be falling off or not. So I just want to follow something that's safe, and I know you guys have always led me right. So just show me a trade. Hey Bob, here's a trade. I don't care if if it's a losing trade, whatever. This is what we're doing. We're going to go here, buy this, and you show me all the steps. How it takes to do it right.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've been doing is day trading options. A lot of us, that's really what most of us do. So.
If I lose money, by all means, I just want you to show me. And to be honest with you, if I lose money, it's a better learning for me. Right? So,
yeah, absolutely.
I just want to have somebody that's going to go, okay, Bob, and sorry, I'm not sure who that other fellow was.
CJ,
John, whatever. Here, this is what you need to do. Buy this stock for this price, and at this call or this put whatever it is, and watch it and then sell it to this, and that's what I want to have happen.
Yeah.
I've never bought that kind of stuff. I've never done that kind of thing. I think it would be a really neat entertainment for me. Or not sorry, entertainment, a really neat experience for me. I just, I'm looking forward towards it. Right.
Okay.
Tom,
Sure.
watch the video.
I think well, CJ has a video breaking it down on Facebook already. I'll see if I can find the link.
It does, but I want to do it live. I don't care about video.
Yeah.
I want to do it live.
Yeah.
Pay you for it. I don't care. Just.
No, you don't have to pay nobody for it. I'll talk CJ into maybe doing something on Facebook.
It's Cassandra. That's the
Oh,
girl
Cash?
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, Cassie. That's the girl I'm thinking about.
Big money Cash.
Yeah, where is she tonight?
Who knows? Who knows? She's probably trading Forex.
She knows that I was on here thinking about her.
I'll let her know.
Yeah.
I'll let her know.
It would be great if you let us know, like maybe 4 hours prior to that class.
Okay. Yeah. CJ did a really good one last weekend, I think it was, on Facebook. Again, hey, Cheaps, if you can join in CJ's stream during the day, we live trade day trade options there every day, and here in Discord.
The thing is, you guys are East Coast, right? I'm Pacific Coast.
I'm Central, but yeah.
No, okay. Yeah.
I'm in Canada. I don't know.
Hey, buddy, I'm in British Columbia, right? So.
Oh, okay.
Where are you?
The West,
Alrighty, I'll let everybody know. I'll tag everybody. But yeah, if you're able to join during the day, morning, whatever you can do, we're literally on there like market open to after hours trading options. I mean, not options and after hours, but we're on there talking, chatting, all that stuff. Literally all morning, afternoon, and night. So if anybody's able to join and want to, come on in. It's in the public section. CJ also double streams it to Facebook too. So it's Cheaps, if you'd rather be on Facebook, then you can be right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
I can tell you one thing. There's no other company out there, guys out there, that would do this willingly to help out other people to learn how to trade, except for you guys. I've been following this other couple of groups there just for the shit and speedles, and they want 150 US per month. So
Vision's undervalued, is what you're saying.
No, God bless you guys. I mean,
Thank you, Cheaps.
I'll bring more and more towards you as much as I can. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
And, tomorrow morning we'll talk again.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. All right, everybody. I'm gonna cut her down. I'll upload this on YouTube for anybody that missed any of it. No problem. It'll be up there tonight. I'm gonna go upload it right now. Thanks everybody for joining. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, you can message me, or just save them for tomorrow night if you want to. We'll be live again. Probably about, yeah, I think about 9 p.m. Central. Probably work best for me to get the kids to sleep and all that. So, all right, guys. Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining in.